you with the fake watch, this might be the time for you to exit the group chat. Or wait, you can hang on if you bought it accidentally, or maybe you just didn't know. Ignorance might be allowed here for now. But if you bought it with the intent to try and flex on people, exit time. This is One Talk with Francis. My name is Francis. Today I'm wearing one of the most cloned watches on earth, the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak in 41 millimeters. Let's get into today's topic of fake watches. It's amazing that the global counterfeit watch market is worth about $1 to $3 billion, although some sources say it's even more than that. And it takes a significant chunk out of the entire luxury good counterfeit market. So we're saying that there's more fake watches than fake Birkin bags. I want to believe there's more fake Rolexes than fake Birkin bags, but listen, well, those are all in the same boat. In one of the other videos that we made, I talked about a meeting that I went to with my business partner. He died laughing. He couldn't believe I exposed that gist. But anyways, I remember very vividly one of the reasons why I could tell his watch was fake was because it was a model, it was an AP, and it was a model that didn't exist. So that was an outright fake. And you know, those are the worst ones, because you're buying you know, let me use cars as an example. You're buying a G-Wagon that has a C-class body. It just doesn't exist. And those are the easiest ones. Even when you want to buy a watch, I always talk about research. So if somebody brings a watch to you, you know, there's all sorts of excuses. There's, oh, I need money for this. Oh, you know, somebody's relocating, somebody's cash strapped, you know, he has this watch. This can be somebody you know, it can be somebody you don't know. But listen, even if my darling 87-year-old mom came to me with a Rolex, I'm going to check it out. And the first thing to do is just do the research. Check the model and make sure the model exists. Unlike my dear friend who was trying to con us in a meeting, his watch didn't exist. So at least basic step one, make sure the model exists. Now, another quick way to check there are different types of fake watches. We're going to lean in a bit more as this video goes on. But they're at the very cheap, you know, you went to your salon to get your nails done and then there's this glass case and it has watches in it. There are those types which can have, you know, Patek Philippe, and then you see the second hand ticking. Once a second hand is ticking, it means one thing. It means it is operated by a battery, which means it's a quartz watch. Any mechanical watch, or let's say mechanical luxury watch, is usually not going to have a quartz movement. So you want to make sure you are seeing your second hand in a sweeping motion and not a ticking motion. That is usually the first giveaway. Now, the thing about that is that means that they have made a fake watch with a quartz movement. So those are the cheaper ones. Now, enter the world of what you call super clones. Now, this is going to be a problem because the super clones have mechanical movements in them. So you probably have to open up the case back to study the movement to know whether it's real or not. Now, anybody can get conned with a super clone. So if you don't want to get conned with a super clone, there's some things you should do. Number one, please go to an AD to buy a watch. If you can afford it, go to an authorized dealer and get your watch. Stay away from the people with the stories. Now, not to say some stories are not valid, but stay away from them. You might find a good deal from secondary market, maybe not a trusted source. For trusted sources on secondary market, there are lots of them. You have Chrono24, you have Joma Shop. I've bought watches from these two places, and there's eBay. And these are secondary market dealers who always do their checks before they will list watches. Not to say there have not been one or two cases before, but they go through authentication processes. And it depends on where you live in the world. I live in Nigeria, in Lagos to be precise. If there's a watch that you want to get from somebody, please go to Polo. Polo Limited have a great authentication service. I think there are other independent authentication houses in Nigeria. I don't know any. I know Polo for a fact. And then you are guaranteed whatever they tell you is gold. And I mean, if you're going through the stress and the hassle of getting a super clone, those super clones cost money because they have like real mechanical movements in them. I'd suggest this. You're not fooling anybody with that fake Richard Mille you're wearing and you're hopping into a Honda Accord. It's just not going to work. In the last video, we discussed entry-level watches. If you are really trying to get into the hobby as against trying to be a con artist, go back to the last video and just get an entry-level watch. It's going to boost your confidence when you walk into a room. I see some people walking into rooms that enthusiasts and collectors are, and they start docking their watches. I remember there was an amazing time on the internet where there was an account called the Fake Watch Buster and got all the rappers shook and everybody started to hide their watches. And the beauty of it, some people who got conned because they didn't know about watches, they learned about watches just so they won't get busted by Fake Watch Buster. I need that account back on Instagram because I can see a lot of dodgy people coming back on it. Anyways, buy what you can afford. Please don't try to fake flex on people. Stay away from fake watches because we are gonna know there is nothing worse than your confidence having to dip because you're not sure how people are going to perceive you as against holding your head up very high in a watch that cost exactly what you wanted it to cost and exactly the budget that you had. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share, and please subscribe. So next time you get any of those emails or you get a follow from an Instagram account offering you Richard Milles, Patek Philippe, Audemars Piguet, please ignore them. They might be tempting, they look good, but please ignore them. Get yourself a decent watch. Hold your head up high. It's been fun talking watches. Stay safe, guys.